Hi children, how are you? I hope all of you are doing well at home. So hi there, this is Ritu Tamret and you are watching my channel Literature with Ritu. So we have already started one chapter called Old Man at the Bridge, and first part I have already uploaded, and here we are uh, to start the second part of the chapter. So we have already completed up to here. Still sat there. So we are going to start from what animals were they. So we are going to start from here. So this is a story, uh, you know, actually based on the conversation which is taking place, or which is happening between an old man and a soldier, and how this conversation started and everything related to that I have already explained in the first part of the chapter. So before watching this part, you must go to the first part and watch that. So what animals were they? The soldier, he asked the old man about his animals, as to what kind of animals he was having. There were three animals altogether, he explained. There were two goats, cat, and then four pairs of pigeons. So the old man informed that these kinds of animals, or those kinds of animals, he was having at that moment of time, but he had to leave them. And you have to leave them? The soldier asked him. You had to leave them? I asked. Yes, yes, I had to. Yes, because of the artillery. The old man answered in the positive, and he told, or he informed the soldier, that because of the artillery he had to leave his animals, right? So what is artillery? So let me tell you the meaning of artillery in a little bit uh, detail. So at the time of war, what happens? Actually, this artillery takes place at the time of war. So what is artillery? A lot of guns, gunpowder, mortars, cannons, missiles, etc. Obviously are going to be used at the time of war. So this is called artillery, right? So is it possible for human beings to be at that place where this artillery is going to take place? No, it's not possible. So because of this reason, all the human beings, or all people from that place, uh, were evacuating the place, or leaving that place, moving out of that place. So the captain told me to go because of the artillery. So the captain uh, of the war, he instructed the people of that place to go out of the place. And you have no family? I asked, watching the far end of the bridge where a few last carts were hurrying down the slope of the bank. And he further asked, the soldier asked the old man whether he had a family. And he also was like, as being a soldier, he had got the responsibility of keeping a tabs on the soldiers, or keeping tabs on the situation, because he had to inform his authority. So it is quite obvious from these lines that while talking to him, he was busy with watching the situation around him. So it is quite obvious from these lines that his mind is was distracted at this moment of time. His mind was distracted, truly distracted, because on the one hand he was talking to the old man, and on the other he was looking towards here and there, because he had to remain vigilant, because uh, he had to remain vigilant, or he had to keep watch on the soldiers, right? So it is quite obvious that his mind was so distracted at that moment of time. What politics have you? What politics have you? That means this is the most important line, because this shows how common people, normal human beings, are totally devoid of politics. They do not have anything to do with the kind of politics, with the kind of things going around, but they have to they become the victims of the wars, right? So politics, this also I have already informed you, people were evacuating the place because of the civil war. It was not a war between two countries, rather it was a war, it was a civil war. What is the meaning of civil war? Civil war means that when groups of people, more than one group of people, like obviously two groups must be there, but if some groups of people fight against one another or fight against each other in the same country, then this is called civil war, right? So here in this case, let me tell you, it was a civil war, Spanish civil war. And uh, actually it was a military coup against the government, right? Actually, and I must tell you, if there were two parties having two ideologies, then they are called right wing and left wing, right? So I'm not going to go so much in detail because that's not something which is related to our story. We have not to concentrate that much, like we are not we are not concerned about all these things in so much detail, right? So I just want to tell you that as far as the Spanish war or civil war was concerned, there were two parties having two ideologies, right wing and left wing. So one was Spanish military and the other was the government. So because of the some reason or the other, these two parties got into a kind of clash, and this continued there for 3 years, right? So the government, the party of the government was called Republican Party, and Spanish military was called Nationalist. So these were the two political parties, you could say, and these two parties were uh, were in clash against each other. So obviously this soldier asked the old man which politics he belonged to, or which parties he belonged to, whether it was nationalist or republic. But the old man, see what the old man answered: I am without politics, he said. I am without politics. So actually, after some time, I am going to tell you how the writer has used a lot of metaphors in this story. So what is metaphor? Metaphor means when a word or phrase that these people, these poets and these writers use, that means they use this word and phrase in order to symbolize something in an imaginative way, to show that something or someone has got the same qualities as another, right? So here also he has used a metaphor uh, in the form of this old man, and this old man symbolizes the common people who have got nothing to do with the politics, who are in no way related with the war, who are in no way related with the politics and nothing of that kind. But even then they become the victims of the war, even then they become the collateral damage. So he told that I am without politics. The old man informed the soldier that he was without politics, right? So this is what he informed. I am 76 years old. I have come 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further, right? So he had already covered 12 kilometers, and he was already 76 years old. So it was quite obvious that he was without politics. He could not do, or he could not concern himself with any kind of politics at this age of his life. And also he had covered 12 kilometers, so he could not go further because he was left with no energy. This is not a good place to stop, I said. If you can make it, there are trucks up and road where it forks for Tortosa. So further the soldier informed the old man that that was not the right place for him, that place was menacing, like that place was going to be detrimental to him, dangerous for him if he stayed there anymore. So he should leave that place, and he should, if a little bit of effort he made, then he would go to the trucks and he would go to some other place, sitting in those trucks, in those vehicles, right? So this is what the soldier tried to make the soldier tried to make old man understand this fact. And trucks up the road where it forks for Tortosa. Forks means when a road divides into two places, or divides into two. The roads at the point of time when the road divides into two, right? Then this is called forks. So one goes to Tortosa, right? So he informed the old man. I will wait a while, he said, and then I will go. Where do the trucks go? Then he further asked the old man that he wanted to wait a little bit, because he had he was exhausted, he was dog tired, he was extremely done up. It was not possible, it was not practicable for him to go any further, because he was left with no energy. So he told the soldier that he wanted to wait a little while, a little bit, and then he would go. And then he further asked where the trucks were going. Then soldier informed the trucks were going towards the Barcelona. That was another city in Spain. I know no one in that direction, he said, but thank you very much. Thank you again very much. He, the old man, informed the soldier that he had got no relatives, he had got nobody whom he knew towards that direction. That's why probably he did not want to go uh, towards the trucks. He did not want to leave that place. He did not want to go to any other place. Probably he had got nobody in his contact. Probably he had got no one whom he knew properly. So he did not want to go to that direction. But even then, as the soldier had informed him so many things, soldier was trying to help the old man. The old man thanked him. He showed his gratitude towards the soldier. Right? Let's go to the next page. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly, then said, having to share his worry with someone, the cat will be all right, I am sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat, but others. Now, what do you think about the others? Now, the old man was looking so blank and tired, but as the conversation went on, the old man thought that he could share his worries with the soldier, as he seemed to be a good man to the old man, right? So he thought that he must share some of his worries with this soldier. So he started talking about his animals, because he was not probably very much concerned about himself, because he was already 76 years old. And as the whole conversation went on a little while back, so I don't think he was much concerned about himself, but he was concerned about his soldiers very much. So he started talking about his animals. He told, the cat will be all right, I'm sure. So he told the soldier that he was very much sure, or he was not very much worried about the cat, because the cat is a kind of animal who can take care of itself. The cat is a kind of animal who doesn't need anybody, who doesn't need anyone or anything to to save himself, to keep to keep itself right. So that's why the old man informed the soldier that he was not worried about cat. And here the cat is also a metaphor, and the cat is a symbol of independence, who does not need anybody or anything to survive, right? And it symbolizes people who it symbolize or sorry the cat symbolizes those people who don't need anybody to survive, or these people are so brave. So who are these people here in this case, as far as this story is concerned? I think these people are soldiers. Yes, because soldiers don't need anybody. They don't need anything to survive, to keep themselves safe, because they are so brave, and they know that they have to fight against their enemies, and they know how to keep themselves safe. However, this is a different thing that they get killed in the war. This is a different thing, but they're so brave that they have got the courage to fight against their enemies, and in order to keep themselves safe. So, here the cat symbolizes soldiers. I think so. Why? And then he asks, "What about others? What do you think?" The old man tried to ask the soldier what as to what he, you know, what he thought about his other animals. Why? They will probably come through it all right. The soldier tried to console the old man as he was worried about his soldiers, about his animals. Then the soldier tried to console, tried to soothe the old man by saying him that he should not be worried about his animals. All his animals would be all right. You think so? Old man again asked, "Do you think so? That my animals will be all right?" "Why not?" I said, watching far bank, where now there were no cuts. Again, the soldier, here also, these two lines uh, are showing how the author has had got a distracted mind. Because on the one hand, he was answering the question of the old man. On the other hand, he was worried about the cards and he was worried about the situation once again. He had to keep tabs on the situation. What's going on? What's not? Whether the soldiers, he had got in the one place in his mind that he had to he had to remain vigilant about the enemies also, as to what point the enemies had advanced by that time. So he was worried about all these things also, but on the other hand, he was also concerned, about answering the question of the old man, because he had got a pity on the old man, right? So he told the old man, or he was trying to soothe old man by saying him all these things, that you should not be worried about your animals. Your animals would be all right. But what will they do under the artillery? When I was told to leave because of the artillery. See how much the old man was concerned about his animals, how much worried he was about his animals. Again, after all this conversation about all these exchange of words with the soldier, in which soldiers had tried his best to console him, in which the soldier had tried his best to soothe his feelings about his soldiers, once again now he is worried about his soldier. He is asking, in the at this time of artillery, what will they do? How will they survive? Did you leave the dove cage unlocked? I asked. Yes, then they will fly. Then the soldier asked the old man whether he had kept the dove cage unlocked. Here, this is a very important thing, that in the beginning of the story, these birds were called as pigeons. Now these words are being referred to as dove. So dove symbolizes peace. Dove symbolizes shanti. In Hindi, shanti, peace, tranquil, right? So at this point of a story, why these pigeons are being referred to as dove? Because pigeons symbolize peace and harmony, and the fact that they fly from the war in the same manner as the other people or refugees who flee from this war to the safer places. Like, we have come to know about this story, that as far as other people were concerned, they were being told to evacuate the place. They were being instructed that they should leave the place, and obviously they were going to safer places. They were evacuating the place. They were leaving their homes, right, in order to save their lives, because they wanted peace, they wanted harmony, and after reaching the safer places, they would be living in peace and harmony. In the same way, pigeons, they have got their cages unlocked, so pigeons can fly, and in this way, pigeons can also remain in peace and harmony. That's why these pigeons are now being referred to as dove, right? So this could be questions in your at the time of your examination, so you can answer like this. Like this could be a question, why towards the end of the story, why the birds have been why the birds are being referred to as dove, what is the reason behind that? So these kinds of questions could be there. So I have answered, you could write in your own language. Yes. And yes, second thing I wanted to tell you that this in this story I'm not telling you any synonyms, because the words and the kind of sentences the writer has used are very simple. They don't need any kind of uh, synonyms or antonyms, nothing of that kind. So the story is very simple. The words which he has used are extremely simple and soothing, right? So no need of using synonyms. You could use simple words also. So that's why I chose not to tell you any synonyms. And however, whatever words I'm using, whatever phrases I am using while explaining, while making you understand, you can write these words at the time of your examination, right? So let's go ahead. So two symbols we have already discussed. One, pigeons, cat. Sorry, three symbols we have already discussed. Pigeons, cat, and the old man himself. Right? Some more symbols uh, are going to be used, are going to be explained by me. They will fly. Yes, certainly they will fly. But the others, it's better not to think about the others. Now here the soldier is also getting a little bit irritated now, I think, because now he's saying, the old man kept on asking him questions, kept on asking him questions about his animals. So at this moment of time, I think the soldier is getting a little bit irritated, because now he's saying it's better not to think about others. But here also it has got some underlying meaning in it. What is the underlying meaning? The underlying meaning is that in the war, the people who are unable to save their life, leave them to their fates, leave them to fend for themselves. What is the meaning of this phrase, fend for themselves? That means let them let them let anything happen, what is going to happen to them, because nothing could be done. If they are unable to save their life, it's all right, no problem, let them be like that. And if the destiny has written that they have to leave, they have to lay down their life in this war, then it's all right, fine, nothing could be done regarding this. So this is what the underlying meaning this line has got. It's better not to think about others, right? So I think here also this old man symbolizes these lines, because here in this war, who has been left to fend for uh, himself or herself? There is nobody but except the old man, because here the old man only who is unable to, or maybe there are some other men also who are unable to leave the place. Maybe there are other people also who are unable to move out of the place because of some reason or the other. Then they have been left for fending for themselves. They have been left, on their destiny to lay down their life, right? To sacrifice their life in this war. However, the fact is that they have got nothing to do with this politics, they have got nothing to do with this war. They are in no way related to the wars, but even then they have become the victims of the war. So this line is also very important. If you are rested, I would go, I urged. Get up and try to walk now. So now the soldier is telling the old man that if you're rested, like, I would go. Now he's telling the old man, it's all right, fine, now I have to go because I have got my own responsibilities. But here at this time of the story, I am not getting one thing. As being a soldier, he was also a human being. He could have helped this old man, but he did not. He could have helped him, this old man, go up to the trucks, and he could have helped the old man go up to the trucks and make him sit inside the truck. But he could not, he did not do that. So this is what I really did not understand. Now leaving the old man to his destiny, he told that I would go. Here, see, he is telling, I would go. I would go. So why he said like this, I really didn't understand. Get up and try to walk now. Again, once again, he tried to uh, make old man understand that he should get up and try to go to the truck. But it was not possible for the old man to go up to the trucks because he had already he was already so much exhausted. He was worn out, so and he was left with no energy with himself. Thank you, he said. Got to his feet, swayed from side to side, and then sat down backwards in the dust. See, he was so old and he was trembling actually. He tried to get up to on his feet and he thought that he would get up and he would walk to the trucks. But as he tried to get up, he swayed. Swayed means he trembled, side by side. Because we must have seen some old man, trembling side by side, right? Because there is no energy in them, right? So and he had already walked 12 kilometers. So what energy would be left with him? So he could not, and then he sat back in the dust once again. Thank you. No, from here. I was taking care of animals, he said duly, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of animals. Again he said that he was only taking care of animals, even he was not taking care of himself. Even he was not much worried about himself. And at this moment of time also, he was not looking much concerned about himself. He was still concerned about his animals. He was not thinking about his life. He was not at any moment of the story, he did not tell the soldier that what would become of him. He would leave his life and he would be in danger, and he was still sitting in that dangerous place that may prove menacing, or that might prove menacing, that might prove dangerous to him. But he never talked about himself. All the while he was concerned about his animals. So this story quite showcases the concern of human beings towards their animals, towards their pet animals. And also this story is based on the theme of war, right? So he told he was only taking care of his animals. There was nothing to do about him. It was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. So now the old man said to himself, the soldier said to himself that it was that there was nothing to do about him. That means what? He left the old man to his destiny, right? He left the old man to fend for himself. He could not do anything for the old man. However, he could do, but I don't know why he did not choose anything to do about this old man. He could have helped him, right? So it was Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday was the day when Jesus resurrected. Jesus came to life once again. But what is the irony of the situation? The irony of the situation is this: on this Easter Sunday, when Jesus had resurrected, like when Jesus came back to his life, the irony is that this old man was going to sacrifice his life. Like this old man was going to be killed on this day. Maybe after some time, this old man might be killed, as the artillery was going to be started after some time. So this is the irony of the story, that on such a precious day, on such an auspicious day when Jesus had come to his life, but it was irony of the story. This was the bad luck of that old man, that he was going to be killed on that day. He was going to leave his life, right? So the fascist means extremists, right? Extremists means anyone or any political parties who have got extreme thoughts. So again, I'm not going to go deeper into this word, because if you want to have a little more information, you can Google, right? So fascists were advancing. Here in this place, you can write enemies were advancing towards Ebro river. It was grey, overcast day with a low ceiling, so their planes were not up. The only hope of the situation was that the day was overcast with clouds or it was a cloudy day, and it was not possible in such a cloudy day for the enemies to leave their planes in the sky and shell and do bombings and shelling bombings and all this. It was not practicable, it was not feasible for the enemies to do so. So the only hope for that old man was that he could be saved that day because of the that overcast day, because of the cloudy day, on account of which the planes were not above in the sky, right? But what will happen after, if not that day, second day they will bomb, and the second day the old man will die because of the artillery and all, right? But he will die. It's not that the first day maybe he will be saved, but the second day he will have to die. So what is the moral of the story? That the common public, general people, are have to die because of the war, right? General people who have got nothing to do with these wars and all, they have got nothing to do with any kind of politics, but they have to die, right? They have to become the victims of the war. They have to become the collateral damage. This is what the same meaning. Victim of the war, collateral damage, you can write. Okay, that and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that old man would ever have. Now here again a very good meaning here it has been given, that cats know how to look after themselves was the only good luck. So I have already informed you that cats here symbolize those people who are brave, who can fight against their enemies in order to save their life. So here also, if the old man behaves like a cat, if he if he like now obviously he is left with no energy, but maybe after one day he will start having some energy, because today is the low ceiling day. Today this is the day of a cloudy day. Today is the cloudy day, and maybe planes are not there, so he will be able to save his life. But maybe the next day, after having some energy in himself, he could again try to get up on his feet, and again he could try to walk, again he could try to go to the trucks, and he could go to the safer places. So he would have to fight for himself. There is nobody to take care of himself, because the soldier has already gone. Nobody will help you in the situation, in such a dangerous situation. Only those people will survive who are brave enough to save themselves. So the cat symbolizes those brave people. So here the writer says that the old man, if the old man behaves like this cat, who is brave enough to take care of itself, then only he can save his life. Now the only good luck is this, right? Now I'm going to talk about two more symbols. The first one is bridge. So you can write about the bridge. That bridge is the symbol of uncertainty and dangers, as it might break down at any moment of time, right? Because the bridge is a rickety kind of bridge, I have already informed you. It is wobbling, it is quivering all the time. So this is a symbol of uncertainty and danger, so it can break down any moment of time. In the same way, that old man may lose his life at any moment of time, unless or until he behaves like a cat, who is the symbol of brave people. If he behaves like a cat, if he behaves like brave people, brave man, then he could again try to get up on his feet, and he could go to the trucks, and he could go to the safer place, right? And one more which is last but not the least, that is the goat. Goat, we know that in Hindi बलि का बकरा, लास्ट में बलि का बकरा वही बनता है, उसकी कोई गलती नहीं होती, बट वो बलि का बकरा बनता है. So here in this story, people, again the general people who are in no way related with the wars, but they are the scapegoats. वो बलि का बकरा बन जाता है, because the goat is often used as a sacrificial animal, and this probably represents the old man and as well as the all the people who are some way or the other affected by the war, who are some way or the other, maybe they will not lose their life, maybe because they are going to the safer places, but aren't they living their places, aren't they living their houses, aren't maybe there are some things which they could not carry with them because they are so heavy, because they are so weighty, they could not take these things along with them. So somehow they maybe on the one hand they are able to live their lives, but on the other hand they have also become the victims of the war, because they were living their life so peacefully, but now they are unable to live their life peacefully. They have to leave their places, they have to go to the safer places, but by doing so they can only save their life. What about their occupation? What will become of them if they don't have any occupation? How will they leave their, how will they run their family, how will they run their life? So they also become the victims of the war somehow or the other, right? So these goats symbolize normal human beings, normal common people, who somehow or the other become the victims of the wars or collateral damage, right? So and also people like old man who even cannot save their lives because of their weakness, because of some other reasons, they reconcile themselves with their imminent or impending death. They reconcile themselves with their imminent or impending death. Why? Because they know that they cannot save their lives. So goats are the symbol of common uh, normal people, right? So here you could write that the old man is the protagonist of the story and he is also the fatalistic hero. So what is fatalistic hero? Fatalistic hero means who belongs to fatalism. Fatalism means submissive to fate, right? Submissive to fate means, I have already explained, that someone or something which is submissive to his or her or to their fates. They, if they reconcile with the kind of fate they are going to meet, if they are if they accept the kind of fate, if they accept the kind of destiny they are going to have, then in that case this is called fatalism. So he is the fatalistic hero because he knew that he was going to die very soon, and he had already reconciled himself with his impending death. So as well as apart from being the protagonist, he was also the fatalistic hero, right? So I myself enjoyed the story very much. I hope you also must have enjoyed the story very much with me, right? So if you like my ways of teaching, my ways of explanation, then please do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press on the bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload my video, right? And don't forget to you know give big fat thumbs ups to my videos, of course. And again we are going to meet with the next maybe it could be a poem, a story, anything. So we are going to be meeting in the next video with some other story or some other poem. Till then, bye bye.